Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is Paul. So this is week 5 of this soft pastel challenge that I set myself. It's hard to believe it's 5 weeks already, but it is. Today's painting, I'm trying to combine two things that I've been working on since sort of week 2 or so, and that's skies, trying to create an interesting looking sky, and also a sense of depth. As you can see, it's a small painting, a small piece of paper, but still I wanted to have this sense of depth. And the two things I'm going to use to try and create that are linear perspective and aerial perspective. So when I say linear perspective, I just mean there'll be more detail in the foreground. So there's nothing complex. And then the aerial perspective, I'm going to use a bluish pastel on the horizon line. The idea, the kind of, I guess, simplified idea that cooler colors tend to move backwards and warmer colors tend to move forwards. So if you put some blue, a cool blue on the horizon line, it might push the horizon line backwards a bit and help to create that sense of depth in the painting. Anyway, that's the theory I'm working on, and that's what I'll be trying to do. And you can see me adding the blue pastel at the moment to the horizon, or at least the more distant part of that horizon line. All of these art supplies, of course, are very expensive, or at least for me, I find them very expensive. But I recently saw some pastels that go beyond just expensive. They're super expensive, and they're sold by a place called, I think it's Maison de Pastel in Paris, and it's the place where Degas bought his pastels. If you're not familiar, Degas took part in the Impressionist exhibitions, or at least most of them. I think 7 out of 8 of the exhibitions. He never really was an Impressionist, but he was a sort of avant-garde, or a different sort of painter, so he didn't fit in with the more classical painting style. He was, in that sense, more like the Impressionists. Anyway, he bought his pastels in the shop, and if you want to buy a set of 12 landscape pastels, it'll cost you just 225 euros, which is about 210 US dollars, something like that, about 200 British pounds. Basically not cheap, well outside my price range. Of course, on the very unlikely chance that somebody there is watching this video and would like to send me a box of those pastels to review, I would be very happy to do that. But yeah, it's well outside my price range. The pastels themselves, I'm sure, are very good quality. I think they're basically just pure pigment, which, good soft pastels are basically mostly just the pigment. There's a little bit of binder, and they also add some white clay to the pigment to get the lighter colors. Okay, this is then a scan of the final painting. So I'm happy with the sky, and I think there is a sense of depth in the painting, from the foreground back to that more distant horizon line. So I think I've met the sort of 2 goals that I've set myself for in this painting. This challenge, I'm going to keep it going for another month or so, until early or sort of mid-January, and then I'll see what sort of stage I've reached in terms of using soft pastels and where I want to take it after that. It's basically just to increase my sort of repertoire, if you like, or expand my artistic horizons, adding in this ability to paint in a different medium, not just watercolor. Okay, if you'd like to subscribe, just click the big red subscribe button below, and hopefully see you in the next video.